Hello and welcome back in. We are here in Falconer and today we are building a university complex. So you may remember last time I said we were going to be moving on to the city. Yeah, I kind of lied. Well, yeah. I looked at it and thought we're going to have so many offices we don't actually really need right now. We are going to have so many higher educational jobs that we don't have anything for. So at the moment the highest education level that we have is a high school, which is fine for what we have at the moment, but we kind of need more higher stuff. So I figured let's use this area up here. It's actually, to give you a little bit of context, above the city, so the city is going to kind of be off to the upper right hand side of this, kind of on a lower level sort of terrain wise into there. Yeah, but we are also the other side of the river, so we have got a big bridge and a gorgeous, I'm gonna brag about it, I will show you at the end, roundabout that I built for this. Yeah, I spent a good portion of time actually working on this, and then I probably don't show you any of it because I forgot to record it. You know me. I thought I'd hit record, spent probably close to 2 hours doing it, making sure it was perfect and it worked, and that I had lane changes everywhere I needed to, and pressed end record and realised I had just started. So yeah, joy. But anyway, you'll see that at the end, down here. It is just off to the top. You can just sort of see some of the connecting roads for that roundabout in there. But yeah, that you'll see later on. But yeah, I really wanted this to have a bit of a modern kind of feel while also keeping some of the older, kind of more historic kind of pieces in it. So we've kind of got a mix of older buildings, new buildings. There is also a lot of housing that goes in here. You can see that I need housing, so I have kind of placed down quite a few sort of apartment blocks and things like that, and I was kind of thinking that they were going to be like subsidized kind of student housing. That was kind of what I had in my head and what I really wanted this to kind of look like, and so yeah, we managed to do that, and we've kind of got our university colours, if I can dare say that, which we've kind of standardised all of the housing, so it all kind of looks the same, and it just kind of really works quite nicely for what I wanted into there. But this is going to be the main building. I say loosely, it's off the gallery. It's, I think it's the Ohio University main building, I think. Yeah, it came off of the workshop in there. It does have the option of an American flag or a Canadian flag. We're building a British or UK inspired, so I didn't really fancy any of those, so I've just left it without the flag on. But yeah, and now we have another plaza out the back here. There is quite a few plazas in this kind of build, you'll sort of see as we go along. I really wanted it to be a really nice connected kind of place where like everything just kind of feels right, and you can kind of easily walk around different sort of areas and things like that. So yeah, I kind of really enjoyed these little connecting roads, and you'll see here this was doing, yeah, it just didn't quite look right. The terrain I think is making things a little bit difficult here. I didn't quite realise how big I needed all of this to be in here, but this has kind of got some nice little sort of steps down to it and some like businesses I think it is under here, and I just figured this would be a really nice kind of chill place where you could maybe have like an outdoor lecture maybe, or you could have like a little study group or something, kind of working out the back here, that kind of thing. I just thought that was a really nice little hint. But now we are using the I think these are the Southwest US pack builds in there. They're kind of like the high density buildings that kind of come with that. and I just figured they would work really well in here as like student accommodation. So that's kind of what I did in here, and we do have a lot of biking options in here. So one thing I really wanted is to kind of make this a walkable but also a kind of a biking kind of place. So most of the sort of main roads have dedicated bike lanes. There's lots of bike storage around certain like university buildings and things, so you can like store your bikes in over there. There is a bus station here. You would have noticed that I built that at the beginning. This is kind of a connector to the like St Thomas and the waterfront and those kind of places. We also do have a name for the other district. We have called it Walcott. So yeah, I have named all of that, and one thing I have actually come back through and done is I have deleted all of the bus routes that we currently have in game, and I have added in loads of new ones. When I say loads of new ones, I think I've changed it from like 5 to being, I think, about 8, maybe 9 different dedicated bus routes in here. These buildings are also perfect. I saw that these kind of had these extra little pop-out things around the back, and I thought they looked kind of cool. So we've got 3 of these all kind of mixed in like in a row together, and then like the one in the middle has like a the other option, so it's kind of got like a little bit higher, and I just kind of figured that would all work in there as like one building, but it's technically 3. So yeah, that's kind of what I really wanted this to look like. And then again, another kind of fake plaza, I guess we can say, in here. These new sort of grass planter box things are gorgeous. I love them. We use them quite a lot in this area, and I feel like they're going to go in quite a few sort of the sort of downtown city areas as well. I just placed them here with some nice row of trees through them, and just look at how that all kind of merges in together into here. We do actually place some more out the back here because it just didn't look quite right. I don't know how vehicles get to those car parking spaces around the back, so I just did a little road around here, and yeah. So you can sort of see here we have got lots of spaces for now. We've got a university and we've got 3 new high schools. What we don't have is a college, so we're kind of jumping ahead. So what we are now doing on the opposite side of this sort of main road here is building in the sort of college area. I'm looking for so many different options of this. In the end, I think I settled on the default, like the original one, which is not necessarily ideal. It's another old kind of building, but I think again it kind of works in with that mixture of kind of old and new kind of mix that we've got going on in here. And then another road coming off the side. Now I do actually go through and work out where I need traffic lights and zebra crossings and things like that, and these 2 junctions are so close together that you were getting like 2 cars in, and then it was causing issues, so I changed that all out. I did that off camera just simply because it was time consuming into there. But building in another seating area, so one thing I really wanted was like community spaces for this. So I wanted somewhere where you could like sit and study, or you could have that time outside and just sort of relax a little bit more. And yeah, that's kind of what we did in here. And another one of these sort of planters over here, again just some trees. I kept it very simple into there because I didn't really want too much kind of in here. But I am loving this sort of new, now like fall autumn kind of vibes that all of these trees are really giving. And when I saw that the seasons had changed at the end of taking the screenshots from the last one, I was like, oh, I do not want to be building in winter. So what I may end up doing is I think next episode probably going to be fine, because we're only in September, so I think we should be okay for a little while before we get snow. But when we do, I'm going to kind of jump ahead until spring, so I'll just let the game run, just because I do not want to be building in the snow and in winter. Yeah. Into there. But anyway, we are now looking at some more housing. I was looking at these buildings, but it actually turns out they are like corner units, and they needed roads down both sides. So we kind of got rid of those, and I do actually end up placing one of them in because it has another road off of it. Again, with sort of this whole modern kind of university accommodation in there, and you'll notice I have not changed some of the colours. I do go back in and do that at a later date, because right here in fact I do go throughout the whole building and kind of come out of the whole build, the whole kind of university, and place all of these in to be kind of what I wanted in there. So we've kind of got some white and then like a dark kind of grey kind of colour you'll sort of see here. I think it just makes them look a really sort of uniformed and really kind of nice modern kind of build into there. For some reason I couldn't rotate this belt, like, yeah, it just wouldn't work, so I ended up having to use move it, and then realised it didn't actually fit. Typical me. So in the end we changed that out and managed to get in with one of the corner units that I said that I wanted earlier on. We got that in, and I've actually created a colour code sort of preset in there, so it's going to make things so much easier into there. But now just sort of working around the back here on just some more housing. So we do also get lots of car parking areas in here, sort of throughout the whole kind of area. Again, I really wanted it to be somewhere where you could just kind of walk to. Like, I feel like you could walk through the campus to the other side. It's not that big of an area, but I feel like it's something that you could easily sort of do in there. But obviously, maybe you've got to commute to your job for the rest of the week or something, and you need a car. That's kind of what I was thinking in here. And yeah, I liked kind of mixing some of this all up as well, and kind of creating those open sort of plazas and things. Now I have actually sped this up 2 times. I think, yeah, maybe 2.5. Just because this was, I think, originally gonna be, I think in total, never mind, I didn't record the roundabout that I started with. I think I had like 3 hours of raw footage for this. So yeah, that's with a lot of sort of cuts. We managed to kind of get that down to about 2. And then I just basically had to be sped up a little bit in there. So I think once I had kind of cut it all out, we managed to get down to about an hour, and then have sped all of this up into there. Now we do also have some commercial in here, because that was something that we also have the need for. I say commercial, it's literally like 3 businesses, but I feel like that's something that we could probably get away with in here. And again, I feel like they kind of work. Maybe they could be like a gym or something that's kind of like we could get away with it in here. I didn't really want like petrol stations or anything like that that's so kind of out there that just didn't fit. But I feel like these maybe could be like a cafe or something that we could sort of use and be needed in here. And then there's just like a couple of other things in here. We also do get in a ice hockey arena. We kind of use that as like the sports campus. I'll talk about that more when we get there, which is I think very soon. But yeah, more trees, more kind of just making it a nice, pretty, open kind of space in here. And I'm not liking that tree selection into there. But yeah, just kind of creating open spaces. Sometimes they are like functional, like plazas and things like that. Other times they, like this one, where we're going to spend quite a lot of time here, they are completely kind of fictional, kind of just for aesthetic reasons. We do have like these big sort of paths in here, and people do actually kind of use these quite a bit, but yeah. One thing I should point out here, this bus, I had to make sure that the buses we used were single story, because they would clip through the that sort of pathway on the top, which funnily enough I have used Anarchy for like all of this. It's perfectly fine. Real life that would not happen into there, but you might notice in some of the cinematics at the end there is some buses that clip through. That's just before I realised and changed all of the bus routes and stuff like that. So there are hundreds of spawning buses when we start all of this, because yeah, that's just the way it goes into here. But I really wanted this area to be like a kind of a community area where you had like food stalls from like different cultures, you could have people coming together, just a really nice sort of student-led kind of area in here for like, I've put in like I think it's like a football kind of net kind of thing where you have like an accuracy sort of score. I don't really know, but I figured that would work in there really, really nicely. And then I realised that this straight road was not actually straight, it had annoying little curves in it, which meant I had to break this up, which meant it was not perfect. And now I'm going to spend an awful lot of time fixing all of this. Anyhow, the joys of what we end up doing, and realising that for some reason they, even though it's a fencing, they kind of double up on themselves. Like, it only uses like half of the fence before it starts another one. Anyway, we've kind of got all of this in here now, and it's looking pretty good. So I just wanted this to be a little bit more private so you couldn't see it from the road. And then also this area here, we've placed a lot of trees in here just to kind of break it up sound wise. There is a couple of complaints I have of noise from this area, but yeah, you're at university, I'm afraid noise is a thing you're just going to have to kind of live with, unfortunately. They are by their very nature noisy places in here, but we're also going some trees. Now, as I said, I really wanted a nice leafy green sort of city in total, but this whole area in here, and I figured let's put in some little vending machines just in case you didn't really want any of those, or you just wanted to grab a drink and things like that. Lots of tables out here. I'm just kind of trying to find decals and things that kind of really work for all of this in here. I do actually extend that area. I think I do that off camera, just because there is a walkway around the back of that research building, and I kind of figured we could get that in somewhere. We could make that kind of work into here. But we are now putting in the ice sort of a rink and things like that, and also this sort of big it's like a sports plaza. It kind of feels like an area where you would go for like to watch a game, but I kind of feel like maybe it has like other stuff inside. So it's like it's got the gym, it's got other bits and pieces in it as well that I think we could kind of use to our advantage here. I did have to kind of move that out a little bit because it was so big. And you're also going to see here, this roundabout, it needed changing. So this actually roundabout is 2 motorways or highways kind of ending here at this roundabout. These are both outside connections. They actually kind of link back up the other end, but it does kind of get a little bit busy, especially when people are moving in. I found that this area was very busy with cars, but you know, it's one of those things into there. And then more little plaza of grass area. I feel like this is all kind of owned by the university, so like the ground staff would kind of take care of all of this. Now I do a little bit of a magic trick here. I changed this so that it is a biking lane because it just kind of fitted in with what I really wanted, and it didn't quite work the first time. I really actually had to struggle to kind of place all of this in where I really wanted it to be into there. But now you're going to see, I realise I have not put any bike lanes on this sort of main stretch going all the way through. So I come back through and do all of that. And yeah, this whole area is slowly sort of coming together. And I actually really like how this sort of all works. But I will let you be the judge. Let me know down in the comments if this is realistic for your university, your school, in there, and how well you think I've done it, or how well I have incorporated this kind of area into Falconer in here. And obviously at the moment it kind of sticks out like a bit of a sore thumb being over here on its own, which did prove problematic when I looked at water and power and all of those sorts of things, because it didn't have any of that at this point. It is completely off-grid, I think is one way we can say it, and I had to somehow manage to connect everything up into here. But now we're going to work on essentially the final area of this, which is another kind of housing area into there, just because I felt like this was kind of empty, weird space. I just felt like it needed to have something more on it over here. So we are using some more of those buildings that we've used previously, and yeah, just kind of got in all of those. It didn't look quite right given the fact that that one was a little bit too small in here. I have kind of kept it quite low. There's not too many skyscrapers. There's like one or two which maybe is a little bit higher, but I feel like we could probably get away with those. They're like closer to like the main sort of body of the campus, that sort of thing, and not on any of these offshoot roads, I guess you could kind of say, into here. And in the end, I was looking at another park or plaza, and I was like, let's go for a big one. I realised that there's a difference between big and City Skyline's big. They were ridiculously large into there, and yeah, in the end I think we just go for this soft little one here. Again, it's just somewhere where you can sort of come out and sit and enjoy, maybe meet up with friends, that sort of thing in there. I was thinking roundabout would make a little bit more sense, but honestly I did not have space because this park has a fence around it. Why, I do not know, but it does. So one thing I think I do here is I actually connect a hidden pathway through this so that you can kind of link up in there without having to go onto the main road around. It just makes a little bit more sense. But yeah, another one of these little grass areas in here. I love the different shapes, and I feel like we've used lots of different shapes throughout these, and yeah, again, just somewhere you can sit under the shade of a tree and kind of enjoy, and yeah, maybe you're waiting for somebody or something like that, that's fine into there. And I'm struggling with trees here, but yeah, it's a little bit more of a subtle one. I do kind of place a few more in there just to make it feel a little bit more, and then some low sort of bushes and stuff as well, just to kind of fill out this one. I probably will go back off camera and do that in the other areas, just because it makes a little bit more sense to have some low-lying sort of shrubs into there. And yeah, more of these buildings. Then we haven't got road connections to that one. One thing I didn't really look at is how hilly this section is over here. Yeah, we kind of fixed that, and we end up getting in or changing these buildings just so that they're up higher as well, because it didn't make too much sense of why they were so small into there. And then we do come back through and work on like the terrain and stuff, just to kind of make that a little bit smoother. One thing I absolutely love is that the new update for the terrain, that kind of works perfectly, and it kind of gives me it just makes that whole sort of like cliffs and the terrain look so much nicer, and things like that. But now we're going to go through and use this colour palette that we used, or that we got earlier, and just change everything to these, including some of the university buildings. You can see I tried to do those. It doesn't work. In the end, we reset that back because, yeah, it doesn't look quite right into there. And some of them, yeah, some of them work, some of them really, really don't. And yeah, I feel like there's a nice mix though, and that is something that I really kind of wanted for this kind of build. And here, now we're very quickly coming up to the end of this video. We're just getting in another little parking area, another one into here. But if you have enjoyed this video and you would like to see more, you can subscribe to my channel. You can also like this video. It would mean so very, very much to me. The link to my social medias are down on the description or in the link tree, so just go over there and you can find me on all social medias that I use over there as well. But I'll leave you with the cinematics. Bye now.